leaders recognize that robust data flow and solid cyber protection can't happen on outdated IT systems. It's why a huge part of the discussion at DoDIIS this year revolved around modernizing systems. Jon Veal is Global Vice President of Defense and Intel at Cloudera. I asked him what agencies are asking him about their modernization journeys.
Absolutely, and it's encouraging to see that the agencies that we partner with on a continuous basis are continuing to adopt and try and modernize their environments to make sure that we're prepared, in their agency missions to really compete in the areas that they need to. The conversations have been great. We've had several people talk about how they've invested in sort of the open data culture, which I think is really, really important as agencies start to develop some of the capabilities that they're all talking about for future state.
So you use the term open data culture. What does that entail? What all is rolled up into that concept in your view?
Absolutely. So for a very long time, our agency partners have struggled with what to do with the enormous amounts of data that they're generating, that they have access to. And really, in the past several years, they've really started to focus on how to make value out of that data. And the way that many are approaching it is to try and make that data open, right? How do we take advantage of the data that exists and make it usable and reusable for multiple different purposes to serve agency needs? And so a lot of what we're hearing today and throughout the conference has been around agency initiatives to do just that.
When you talk about open to whom? And then the reason I ask that is I wonder what that has to do with the way that one goes about making it available, securing it, and so on.
Absolutely. So when I say open, it's truly open internally, right, to the agency to help serve their mission. And the reason that it's so important to secure that is because obviously every agency has different missions within that. And it's important to make sure that the security, the governance, the linearity of where that data was created, how it's stored, who has access to it, is all part of an agency's process in trying to make that data usable, secure, and resilient.
Mm-hmm. What are the agencies that are making progress doing to make that progress in your view, Jon? So
what they're doing is they're providing choice. They're providing choice to the data practitioners within the agencies themselves to be able to experiment, to use the tools and processes and investments that are out there that the industry provides to do really neat things with data and really start to derive that value across the entirety of the platforms. All while making sure, like you mentioned, the security, the governance, linearity is there so that the data and the outcomes are trusted.
One of the big developments here, I think, is that organizations are starting to understand, too, how all of that you just have talked about gives them a technological edge on the battlefield or in whatever the space of conflict is.
Absolutely. Not only supporting the warfighters, but also supporting our coalition members, right? How do you make sure that the data, helping the warfighter make those informed decisions is resilient enough and can be shared with our coalition partners, right? Efforts like CJAD C2 and integrations between the intelligence community and the Department of Defense, I think, are huge first steps towards achieving that. And I think, again, that flexibility of being able to work in any environment to support, whether it's the warfighter, the folks back at home, all of that plays a key component in how agencies are starting to adapt their data strategy.
You use the term flexibility. Yes. What are the key components of that flexibility? What should organizations and government have in place to make sure they can maintain that flexibility?
Yeah, so one of the biggest things that we see in conversations with our customers is the ability to deploy anywhere, right? You don't know where the conflict may arise, right? So you have to prepare for anything, and being able to operate in on-prem environments at the edge, or being able to operate across multiple cloud environments and still have that view of data across that is really, really important to them and provides that flexibility for anything they might encounter.
Jon Veal of Cloudera.